Aside from applying basic formatting like color and bold, italics, changing the case like we did in the previous movie, there are some special effects you can apply to text as well to really add pizzazz. Of course, it depends on the document you're working with, and you never want to overdo it. So let's take a look now as we continue working Home Recipes document. If you've jumped to this lesson and need to catch up, go to the Chapter 3 folder and open up Home Recipes 3. We're on the first page here looking at the title. We've already made some changes to the font, the size, the colour. Let's apply some other formatting. Let's go to the left-hand margin next to Essential Veggie Recipes and click and drag down so we get both lines. Now here you can see bold has already been applied. We've already taken a look at these italics and underlining, and we changed the colour. But if we wanted to apply some special effects, we don't see them here on this little pop-up option. We need to go to the ribbon, and that's where you will find this little guy called Text Effects and Typography. And give that a click and you'll see a number of options that you might see as familiar if you're comfortable with previous versions of Microsoft PowerPoint. Way back to 2007, for example, we started to see some of these text effects for creating slides. Now as you hover over these, you're going to see a nice real-time preview in the background. So when you see something you like, all you have to do is select it. I'm thinking this one down here might look good, or maybe this one with the reflection. Let's give that a click and it's applied. We can deselect by clicking anywhere on the page, and you can see that really does make our title stand out. Now if you want to clear all formatting altogether and just start from scratch, we can go to that too, also from the font section on the ribbon. This little guy up here next to our change case drop down will clear all formatting. Let's give it a click, and that's for that line. Let's go up to the first line and do the same thing there. And now we have our text with no formatting whatsoever. So let's click and drag over that, and let's make some changes now. Let's go first of all to our paragraph section and change it to centered. That's part of formatting. Let's go to the font drop down and choose a cool font like Arial Black. That one really stands out. Now we don't need any bolding or anything with that, but maybe some size changing would be good. Let's go to the size drop down, and as we hover over 24, we see all of a sudden we need 3 lines, so let's go back to 20. That's perfect right there. With a bigger, heavier font like that, we don't need as large a size. And now let's apply some effects. Go to the effect drop down, and you'll notice aside from these presets, we also have outline options to change the colour of the outline around the outside. This works well with a very heavy font like Arial Black. We can also apply a shadow, and as we move over, you can see some outer shadows, some inner shadows, and some perspective as well. And you get to see a real-time preview in the background for those as well. Not so sure shadow is exactly what we need, so let's go to reflection now. As again we hover over these reflection variations, we see real-time previews going on in the background. Some reflections are longer than others. Some actually are separated from the text. I'm thinking just this first one is subtle enough. I'll give it a click and deselect. Kind of cool. The only thing that would really make this stand out a little more now is to change the colour. So let's click and drag across both lines, and we'll go to our colour drop down. Again, we want to choose theme colours. If we do change the theme of our document, the colours will change with it. If we go down to standard colours or even more colours, yes, we have more options, but then we are not going to be able to see those changes translate to our new themes. Let's go down to gradient and try something here. I see some options for gradients, and again we're going to see lighter in the bottom or the top diagonal gradients. We'll choose one that suits our needs, but maybe it would be nice if we were using different colours. Let's go down to more gradients. That opens up a pane over here on the right. You can see gradient fill is an option under text fill. Now we can choose things like presets, and these involve colour. I like this one here. We will give it a click. Deselect to see what that looks like, and it's a little bit difficult to read. Notice that we can adjust these, so let's reselect our text and let's go to the gradient stops. Again, drag the slider so we have less of the lighter colours. We can even change the colour for that matter to do something darker, maybe a darker blue. And now let's deselect to see what that looks like. Very cool. So we are really adding pizzazz here to our document. This is just a title page, so it's somewhat appropriate. We wouldn't obviously want all of our content to be formatted this way. It's really for special occasions. Let's close this up. Feel free to experiment with some of the text effects here in Word 2013.